Episode 21, Maintaining Balance in a Food Forest, Building Harmony Over Time. Welcome back to EcoAlchemy. In our last episode, we took a deep dive into designing a food forest with layered plants to mimic natural systems while providing an abundance of food. Today, we're exploring the crucial topic of maintaining balance within that system. A food forest isn't a set-it-and-forget-it project. It's an evolving, living ecosystem that requires thoughtful care to keep everything in harmony. Our focus will include practical tips on managing pests, attracting beneficial organisms, and fostering healthy soil and water balance. Whether you're a novice gardener or a seasoned nature enthusiast, the ideas in this episode will inspire you to care for your food forest while embracing biodiversity. Let's dig in. Every element of a food forest, plants, insects, mushrooms, birds, and microbes, has a role to play in maintaining equilibrium. Think of your food forest as a community. When different species coexist in harmony, the system can sustain itself, but disruptions can lead to issues like pest outbreaks or soil depletion. This is why biodiversity matters. The more varied your ecosystem, the better it can self-regulate. To engage with nature, start by observing it. Watch how plants interact, where insects gather, and how sunlight filters through the trees. Notice the connections. The more biodiverse your garden, the sturdier its foundation. Being in a food forest is like stepping into nature's classroom, and each detail holds a lesson. Now, let's tackle one of the most significant challenges: managing pests. Nature has a practical, toxin-free way to handle pests, and so can you. First, don't label all pests as bad. Some have natural predators that keep their populations in check. Ladybugs, lacewings, and birds are excellent helpers, feeding on common garden pests like aphids. To invite these allies into your food forest, plant flowers like marigolds, yarrow, or cosmos that attract beneficial insects. Companion planting is another powerful tool. Some plants naturally repel pests. For example, basil wards off mosquitoes and flies, garlic deters aphids, and marigolds discourage nematodes. By pairing your vegetable crops with these natural defenders, you'll create a safer environment without needing pesticides. Crop rotation is equally important for maintaining pest health. Moving crops to different parts of your food forest each season confuses pests and interrupts their life cycles. This is how farmers mimic nature's way of avoiding monoculture problems. For nature lovers, pest management isn't about waging war. It's about working with systems that already exist. Every garden creature has its place. It's our role to keep things in balance, not disrupt them. Think of beneficial insects as the workforce of a food forest. Bees and butterflies pollinate crops, predatory wasps keep harmful pest populations in check, and decomposers like beetles break down debris to improve soil quality. But how do we encourage these helpers? Start by planting nectar-rich flowers like lavender, echinacea, and sunflowers. These bloom throughout the year and provide food for pollinators and predatory insects. Consider setting aside a wild corner in your garden where native plants can flourish. This serves as a habitat for insects that thrive in less tamed environments. Building bug hotels is another excellent way to attract insects. These simple shelters made of logs, twigs, and leaves give small creatures a safe space to rest and reproduce. Biodiversity isn't just a buzzword. It's an active practice that makes your food forest more resilient. Nature lovers often tell me how fulfilling it is to see bees darting through the flowers or ladybugs feasting on aphids. That's not just gardening success. It's a celebration of coexistence. Healthy soil is where it all starts. Picture a thriving forest floor, rich, dark soil teeming with earthworms, fungi, and microbes. That's what we're aiming to replicate. Without good soil, plants struggle to grow, fight off pests, or produce nutrient-dense crops. Composting is a simple yet transformative way to invest in your soil. Kitchen scraps, leaves, and biodegradable garden material degrade into nutrient-rich humus, which feeds both your plants and the soil microbes. Mulching is another effective method. By covering bare soil with straw, wood chips, or leaves, You reduce erosion, retain moisture, and moderate soil temperatures. Leguminous plants like clover or vetch are natural nitrogen fixers, organisms that pull nitrogen from the air and deposit it into the soil. Including these plants in your food forest improves fertility while creating ground cover to prevent weeds. Soil health is an ongoing relationship. Each amendment, each new layer of organic material safeguards biodiversity beneath the surface. It's a reminder that healthy soil builds healthy ecosystems. In a food forest, water and shade are as critical as soil health. Trees provide the upper canopy that shades plants, cools the soil, and creates microclimates that support more delicate species. Without this balance, plants may overheat or compete too fiercely for sunlight. On the water side, swales, shallow trenches dug along the contours of the land, are great tools for catching and retaining rainwater. They prevent runoff and ensure that water is absorbed into the soil where it's needed most. Paired with mulch and healthy ground cover, swales are a simple, effective way to conserve water. My tip for nature lovers is to use what's already in abundance. Fallen leaves make excellent mulch. Logs from downed trees can be repurposed to create swales or even bug habitats. Sustainability isn't about perfection, but rather working in harmony with what nature provides. The beauty of a food forest lies in its adaptability. No two are the same, and each evolves over time based on its unique conditions. As stewards of these systems, it's on us to watch, learn, and make gentle adjustments when needed. Signs of imbalance can include rampant pest outbreaks, weak soil, or certain plant species overtaking others. Treat these as opportunities to engage deeper with your food forest. Perhaps a tree is casting too much shade on sun-loving vegetables, or one plant species needs thinning out to give others room to thrive. Start small. I've been testing these ideas in my backyard, and each observation has taught me something valuable. For instance, I learned that lacewing larvae thrive best in the shady corners of the garden, so now those areas are their designated zones. Managing pests or attracting wildlife feels less like work and more like participating in an evolving system. Nature lovers often talk about reconnecting with the earth, and what better way than to spend time cultivating a food forest? Each adjustment brings you closer to understanding the rhythms of nature. Learning about biodiversity and food forests isn't just for gardeners. It's a call for everyone who values nature to take action. Whether it's planting one pollinator-friendly flower or starting a compost pile, every step makes a difference. In the next episode, we'll focus on trees, the gentle giants of any food forest. I'll share tips on selecting trees for specific climates, caring for their needs, and ensuring they work seamlessly in the system. In the meantime, I encourage you to share your wisdom. Do you have tips for keeping gardens or food forests balanced? Let me know in the comments. Let's cultivate this vision together, one step at a time. Remember, biodiversity is the foundation of life, and embracing it helps us protect the planet while growing something beautiful. Don't forget to subscribe, share this journey, and invite others to join along. See you next time on EcoAlchemy.